My name is Gabriel Ndaikan of the Charity Medical Foundation and International Credit Incorporated, doing business as CMFIT Global Consulting, Charity for Medical, Pharmaceutical, and Innovative Technology. It is the course moving over into the future, being part of a changing global economy and population growth to an unprecedented level that require exponential and drastic measure system thinking theory application so that derived resolve can match with the challenge of today and tomorrow. The ComFit Global Consulting is enhancing its program for that kind of purpose. Therefore, before I start today, the Charity Timeline News as the new program of this YouTube channel. The topic of my presentation will be the universal law of balance, peace, and the higher intelligence. Again, the topic of the presentation is the universal law of balance, peace, and the higher intelligence. Before I go further, before I continue to the illustration of the clarification of the topic, I would like to say bonjour to my listener, those who have a chance to tab into this presentation today. Bonjour, guten Tag, guten Morgen, good morning, good evening to certain people around the world through by default through the movement of rotational revolutions of Earth around his stars. All right, so now, I was running today. As soon as I start running, I walk, and incidentally, as soon as I hit the first foot forward, the siren start. Ambulance, somebody gonna fell off today. Please get the hospital ready. We are very sure and certain that he will not do 1 miles. You're all the medical team, be ready. We have a case. Finally, our conspiracy has worked. We are very convinced that he will work. So let be ready. Let be ready. And then now we have people around with the sirens, and I was like, what kind of old is this? I've been running here for almost a year now. What kind of old is this? And loader by loader, 4 miles. Maybe he's forcing. 5.2 miles. Certainly, we misjudge this person. 6 miles. It was an error. Now, my friend, certain people think that I am distancing myself away from the community. I am not. I have a very busy schedule. People don't just understand it. I play soccer with people in the community. That's my lobby. If you want to see me there, you come there. Okay, everybody have a lobby. There are people that if you want to see them, you go to the casino. There are people that if you really want to see them, you go to a strip club. You see them there. There are people that if you want to see them, you go to a bar, you see them there. There are people that if you want to see them, you go to a library, they're going to be there. But by phone, there are people that if you want to see them, you go to jail, you see them there. So it's very simple. Everybody have a program and agenda. And there are people that if you want to see them, you go to a shelter, you see them there. It's very simple. I don't know why people are bothering themselves for no reason. I play soccer. Okay? I go and play soccer with people in the community. That's my lobby. That's part of my programs. I come and go and purchase stuff in the store. If you want to see me, you know how to catch me. I don't drive an invisible car. Like, like certain people that think invisible is around me. My car is visible. So the point is, you can actually target where I'm going and see me there. So the notion in which people believe that, in order for you to have a happy life, you got to go every single night, in a club, in a bar, and meet people, for what purpose? What do I have to do that for? You give me a reason. I have no reason to do that. And I'm running. I'm seeing every kind of stuff. The person with one legs running, the other person in a wheelchair running, the other person running in a bicycle, the other person running with a cane, the other person is running tilted in one side. I was just like, what kind of adversity of diversions is this? This is a very lucky, or what kind of day is this today? So I'll continue to run. I understand if that was a message, but the message was well understood. But unfortunately, it didn't work well in my body. Certain people are just the way they are. They just put in an egg. You don't know exactly what you're going to do with them. So you tilted them, they come back up. You beat them, they come back up. You put them away, they come back up. You raise them, they come back up. You just don't know. And then your brain is kind of mixed up. That's exactly what's going on. You see what I mean? There's certain people like that. So I am here. I am alive. Everybody have a schedule. Everybody have a time. If people are so desperate, this guy is so lonely, we don't know exactly what we're going to do with him, we never see him for a girlfriend. He always kind of walk by himself. If you're so desperate of my pity life, as you are assuming that in your mind, you are free to contact me, but make sure that you fit my criteria as a person with whom I can have a friendly or positive relationship. Because if you don't, I'm afraid that you might be disappointed. I don't want that. I am open-minded to everyone, but I will not go with that simulation of long-term friendship with a person that do not fit my criteria. I'm very honest and clear. But to be really honest too, I'm not really looking, because it is plain and I'm working toward. Alright, I have a business to run. Come home, I got stuff to do. I got my academic trend I have to put in order, working on it. I got a business thing I need to work on. I have new challenge software that I need to revise. All of this stuff, those stuff that are stuff that I think that I must do. People think he's in the house. He's in the house, so he's sleeping in the house. So no, my business is in the house. Okay, so I am in a house with my business. So my business and me are in a house. So we are in a house. Okay, my business and me form one thing from in a house. So if when you see me out of the house, it means I finished doing what I'm supposed to do, business wise and personal wise, because I have to eat and I have to do other personal stuff. Okay, so You know, don't see me like he's gotta have a miserable life. You know, we don't even think that he's earning money what he's doing. You know, why are you so concerned about what I'm earning? You know, you are gonna come and purchase what you earn. I understand it. You know, even if I'm earning $1, if I can live within $1, that's up to me. Remember, you creating problems based on how important you assume it is. You know, well, today, man, I mean, I got to have that Apple 6. You just created a problem. When somebody else is very comfortable with Apple Zero from 1990, it doesn't have a problem. You see what I mean? So you just created a problem. I mean, man, I gotta have that new shoes. You just created a problem. That problem didn't exist. And then tomorrow you're gonna say, no, America is very hard, man. No, it's not. It's not. There's nowhere in this world where life is easy. You see what I mean? Everywhere in this world that you're gonna go, there are gonna be problems. You don't come and talk to me about how America is hard because people are pushing on me, people are sucking me down. No, they are not representing the true America, no. They're representing few sad people who are disappointed about their past and life, and they want other people to be to not succeed like they did fail. That's the point. So if you're a lucky person and meet those kind of people, you're gonna have some problems. That's what it is. They're not represented. They do not represent America. See what I mean? They do not represent America. They represent a bunch of people who that God put in trial, and suddenly they become mad because America is supposed to have this kind of situation of economy. You in trial. Prove that you can get over it like our ancestor of this nation have done in 1933. I call ancestor because I am part of this now. I am part of the unfolding situation in America. This is not the first time they have done this. They done the same thing in 1933. And people started a business in a house. Those people like Mercedes-Benz, they started a business in a garage. Today somebody saying, I gotta have a Mercedes-Benz C850. That will be coming up right away in 2020. Or maybe 2025. So I don't actually know exactly what you guys are talking about here. I'm proud of my business. I am an employee with the Comfit Global Consulting and Corporation, who also run as a 501c3, a non-profit, and do other program as a profit as a corporation. Even if I earn $1, it doesn't matter. I have to pay my taxes at the end of the year. Okay, so I have a job and my schedule is flexible the way I want it. And I can work as a contractor doing many things for many other companies depending on how I believe I fit into it and include it in my program, in my schedule. So even if I earn $1, my friend, everything have a start, right? You don't go out there meet a girl and by looking at her, she's pregnant right away. Unless you become God, who just look at Mary and she was pregnant of Jesus Christ. So you have to start the process. You have to start talking. You have to go to up and down. Maybe she gonna make you run hard, and you're gonna have some pain, and then you come together, and then the baby. That's how it goes. That's how life goes. You're not gonna tell me, he opened a company now. He's supposed to make 6 figure. Please, if you find somebody like that, let me know. Because people know how to follow the people here. They have money already packed from their dynasty and family, and they start talking stuff. Everyone who started a business from nothing have to go through a period of time where he have to make a decision, either to stand with what he work on, stand on it, and see how you're going to produce tomorrow. And let me assure you, let me say something here. If you stay tenacious, if you persevere, and if you endure every situation, you will have the result, a result close to the expected one, because of the universal law of balance that was put in place by the creator of all the universe at the primordial fault. It means at the beginning of all. And I'll prove you that the creator is in eternity. And I'll prove what eternity is with respect to existence and life. Now we moving to a higher level. Now we moving up. Now we moving to a higher level. We moving up. The glory higher, higher, glorify higher. So now let me see something here. When you look the universe, the eternity, and the existence, the universe is the processing time. Time is not in existence. Time, existence is not in time. I'm sorry, existence is not in time, but time is within existence. Let me decode that, because previously I've said that, but I didn't really clarify what I said, because I'm going to link that to the universe and to eternity and to the creator, to prove that there was someone who existed before us. That's practicality. Existence is not in time, but time is within existence. Time is within existence. Why? Or existence is not in time. Why? Make the differentiation between existence and life. Everything that live exists, but everything that exists do not live, depending on the plane in which you are. If you are here on earth, who live that earth that stand within the macro world, the big world, the unseen one, because we are part of a bigger world. We are part of it. We like an organ of a bigger world that cannot be seen through our eyes, but it can be seen to those who have spiritual gift given to them by the creator. So what is actually life? Manifest of a living organism. That's what life is. A manifest of a living organism. It is something incarnate that can produce something, that can make babies, that can have a life, that can progress in time. But what is existence? Anything that can be felt, seen, or touched. So, through that definition of existence, life is part of it, because a person who is alive, he can be touched, he can be felt, and he can also be seen. A person who exists, or something that exists, can be felt, even if it cannot be seen, depending of every single person spiritual gift, spiritual level. It is called extrasensory perception in scientific word. It means your sensitivity to the spiritual world, to the supernatural. There's a level for it, there's a calculation for it. Now, everything that exists do not live, depending on the plane you are. I'm talking about in reference to this plane, Earth, the Milky Way, the galaxy, solar galaxy, and Earth, the third in rank in the Milky Way. Now, the point is, God and any other benevolent is the opposite of malevolent. Benevolent are good entity, the angels and other celestial benevolent beings. The malevolent beings are the demons or the satanic beings that respond to Lucifer, and the benevolent one are the one who respond to Elohim, the creator. The form is in a crystalline energy. It means clear, very clear energy that cannot be seen through an optic eyes or lens, because they are not part of this plane. They are part of a bigger plane in which our plane is included into. But because they are a superior plane, they can see our plane even though that we cannot see their plane. Because our plane is part of their plane, is integrated in that big plane, they can walk, they can exist in our plane without living. But they can exist there. So God, through his absence, like people say sometimes, is actually present through existence, because he does not live into this plane. He lives in a more higher plane. So this plane is part of the higher plane in which God lives. So he is present as an existing benevolent being in a crystalline energy form. So because he exists in a higher plane with a higher intelligence and civilization, the characteristic and blueprint he possesses, or any other benevolent being that was bestowed that form of characteristic, they can transform themselves from the crystalline energy into a humanistic being. Manufacture the soul that you have within you, which is the derived soul of your core soul, which is your metaphysical structure in a higher sphere, as programmed and structured by the Creator at the primordial fault. Your soul is in a crystalline form, pretty much an ethereal crystalline form. That's the scientific annotation of the soul. And that is linked into the macro world in which God lives in. That's how they know they control everything. And I'll explain to you again. So they exist here, but they cannot be seen because they travel from planet to planet, from universe to universe, to do the mission. Like we go to work, certain people have to travel, businessmen, they have to travel from continent to continent. That's the same thing they do. They do their business. And the same way you have terrorists planning to kill good guys, is the same way you have malevolent spirit in that plane try to stop them to do their work. That is the reality in that plane. Now, how do that translate with what we see here in this earth? What they do in the other plane have a direct impact in this plane. Why? Because the benevolent beings are working for our good. They're here to protect us the way it was designed at the beginning of time, before even the story of Adam and Eve. Now, the malevolent powers and demons, their objective it is to stop that protection and to integrate people's soul so that they can interfere with their way of acting or living. That's the way they do. So when you see war around the world, even though that it is the plan put in place by God for a purpose that only Him knows, He allowed those stuff to happen to enhance our faculty to grow and improve for a more higher challenge, higher purpose. Back then, we have disease like HIV, tuberculosis, malaria. Those diseases was tough. Were the disease of the time tougher, challenge, right? We overcame it. Now what happened is we have Ebola, who is like a disease that have the combination of all those diseases. Ebola have the combination of tuberculosis and HIV. I mean, the way he does spray, he spray like tuberculosis, the vector, aerial vectors that can dispatch themselves through the air. I mean, if you absorb it to your nasal route, you get it. Or into your mouth, you get it by just breathing around it. Now, also in contact, if you get contaminated, you know, through the through the blood, you get it. So it does have Those have both. Those have the tuberculosis symptom and I mean not even symptom. I'm not going to symptom because both it does have both symptom, tuberculosis and HIV, but the method of contamination. So those are challenges, very hard challenge. So it will not get better. Let me tell you why it will not get better. Remember, I am not a conservative Christian. I am pretty much a very light liberal Christian. I am in a core of understanding the practicality of the heavens because I know how they function. Religion is only a like let me laugh a little bit. When you know stuff sometimes you just laugh. Like here in this earth, we have religion, we have government, we have people that if you come and tell them about religion, they're gonna tell you what do I have to do with what I'm doing. It is the same thing like over there. But religion is powerful over there because it is part of the creator characteristic blueprint. It is part of it. Why? Because of the purification essence he have. That's why. That's why it's very important. And religion should supposed to be very important here. Because through religion, people supposed to have peace. Not battle. Not going after each other. That's the work of malevolent forces, evil forces. You know, governed by Lucifer. So those challenges that you have in place are tests and trial that God put here to improve people into difficulties. That's what it is. When people, let's say an example, when people put toxin in my food, an example, I'm very practical right here now. I can be mad at those people, but I know God is the one who allowed it to happen. Do you know why? Because he can change those people's mind not to do it. He's the one who made man. He can change those people's mind not to do it. As soon as you want to do it, because you're battling between the evil force and good force. Evil force is saying, I don't like this guy, and I want to make his life miserable. So I can go directly to him because he's very spiritually advanced, and he's spiritually advanced. So I can't even come close to him. So what I can do, I can go around all the folks that he's in contact with. That's how he function. And he go into the throne, he communicate by God with God through telepathic communication. It is the normal communication. That's how they communicate. So he communicate, and he wanted to do the challenge. So he have his demons that do those work. Those demonic angel. When you have those, you have guiding angel. You also have demonic angel who are there to do the dirty work. So what they do, they access your subconscious. When they access your subconscious, which is the conscience of your spiritual mind, which is the conscience of your soul, which is within you. So that conscience, now that dominate your conscience, which is your natural conscience, your mind, the same way we are integrated into the maker world. That's the same way our body, our mind is integrated into our soul. Mostly our mind, because our body is apparent. But if you really look, we are connected to the big world through that energy, that crystalline energy that flow in the entire universe and flow within us. And pollution also have an impact on it, because the way that the carbon go around, the change of climate, the way God designed it change, but it does not really affect the crystalline energy to do the work, because they are the perfect power. They know how to go around all this stuff. It was already, God previewed that long time ago, so he know how things will go. They even know how this earth gonna become in time. That's what they do. If they want to prevent something to happen that was not part of the deal, they do it 10 years in advance. They can even do it 100 years in advance before the next generation come, or before 3 generations arrive. What he have to do, he have to go to the metaphysical structure before they enter the world and change some of the pattern, do some modification of some of the pattern before they can get conceived and come in this world, as they already know where they're gonna go. They can even do all those change. No, if you go here, that they change, it's gonna be a problem. So they do those modification before the person enter his next lifetime journey through reincarnation process. So the point that I'm making here, the higher intelligence, time is within existence, because we live within existence. We live within existence. Existence is for eternity. But our life is a sequence of life experience in a determinate interval, in which we come, we go, we return in different form, we come, we go, return in different form, until we reach that final perfection. We will live, therefore we depend on time. But those who exist do not depend on time. That's where you see existence is not in time, because those who exist do not depend on time. You take a rock, you put it there, you will see the same rock in 100 years from now. It might degrade from oxidation, but it will still be there, because the rock exists. Some trees sometimes are there for a very long lifetime. They live, but in a different kind of form. So they exist. I can say they exist in a different kind of form, that you can say live, when you get solar energy, you transform it to inner energy to produce oxygen, release oxygen, and absorb carbon dioxide, use mineral from the ground to form your mean to exist. That's the process. Rocks also have a different kind of process, but that's based on energy. But everything's energy. Solar energy coming to the trees, everything's energy. We live today because of the electromagnetic field that is enhanced by the DNA nucleotide sequence that compose our cells through the blueprint of electrical nature and magnetic nature. Both strand of one DNA molecule are charged in opposite charge, negative and positive, and then you get that sequence coming together as an attraction. Two opposite charge attract each other, and then they form what is called an electromagnetic field that bring everything together. And because all the organs are connected, all the cells and DNA molecule are connected, and they form that uniform electromagnetic field that exists, that we enhance within our entire body as a whole. So the universe now, like I explained, time is within existence, but existence is not in time. Therefore, God do not depend on time. All those beings that exist do not depend on time. That's why I said earlier, time is within existence, but existence is not in time. So time exists in an interval of existence, because existence is bigger than that. Time is just a portion of it, because existence at a certain extent is equal to eternity. That's where you have what is called eternity, which is a process in time from a far distant past to a far distant future. That's pretty much a far distant future of infinity. So someone who function in that plane don't depend on time, because time will never end. Keep going and keep going. But we depend on time because of our the way we structure. In every single lifetime we appear on earth. That's the way it was designed. Now, Jesus, Savior, friend of sinner, came into my life and saved me forever. Somebody said that. I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Why not say Jesus, Savior, friend of all of us? We are all sinners and we should repent. It's very simple. Who's not sinner here? You know? Now, I'm proving you that existence is not in time. It means if God exists, as He exists, it means He's the one who created time. If He's the one who created time, He's the one who created the matter, because He have to observe the matter in time within that existence, which is a very vague interval. That's why from the beginning, during the primordial fold, you have the power, the origin, depth, and then you have the names, because God start naming thing, naming Himself, Creator, Elohim. Then He created numbers. I am number 1. He is number 2. He is number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Complete. So God is number 1 and is number 9 and everything in between. That's why All the letters of the alphabet are between 1 and 9 in a numerology calculation. And even in our science today, it is. So 1 represents the alpha, which is the A in our alphabet, and Z represent the 9, which is the omega in the Greek alphabet that represents God. So alpha 1, Z omega, and everything between God. That's what it is. When people say the alpha and omega, what they're saying is the A and the Z and everything in between, and number 1 and number 9. That's what they're talking about. Now, he created, after he created the numbers, he created time. After he created time, he created, he expanded the space. So a space from where he is, an infinite space. And then after he created the space, he created what? The matter. He created the matter from ether. That's where the word of ethereal comes from. It is an energy that does not exist in this universe. People will be talking, talking, talking. I can promise you, it will be difficult for people to find how men were made and how the universe is made. Because that science is prohibited by God to be revealed. Even Lucifer don't have that right. He cannot. He's prohibited. And the point is, Lucifer respects the universal law. You see what I mean? But it does not go by the moral law. That's the problem. It's like people here, they kind of respect the law, right? But morally, they can do some stuff that, we don't give them by the law. The same thing he does. He respects the law because he knows the law cannot be changed. But he do what he want to do with respect to that law. You know, somebody gonna stay here. The law don't say that. Don't be jealous of somebody. Yeah, because somebody came last time and saying on TV, I have a right to be jealous of somebody. That's pretty much like the way Lucifer think. I respect the law, but my moral law is, that's why everything started. That's where the problem is. So that's exactly what is happening. So we have people living. They don't comprehend how God functions. They think they know how God functions. They're talking about being saved. I will prove you, as I said before, that the universe is in time within existence, because existence is bigger than the universe. Because the universe is a process within that existence. And we are part of the universe. Therefore, we are within the existence. Which make what I've been saying for a long time true. We are for a long journey through existence. It means when God started everything at the beginning of everything, I'm not talking about Adam and Eve stuff. When he started the thing, created, structuring all his program and house put all together, it is called at the primordial thought. Primordial means the beginning of time. Thought means unsatisfied feature. I'm not talking about the way you look. I'm talking about through purification. Because God is pure and He wants the people to go through that process to become pure. And I'll prove you why I'm right. Because I'm going to use a person which is known everywhere to prove what I just said. So He started at the primordial thought. He created what is called the metaphysical structure, which is called the energy pattern, the soul, the core soul. Every single one of us here have a core soul. Like God have a core soul, core spirit. All the angels you see, they have a core soul, a core spirit. But they have what is called the omnipotent, omnipresent, omnifunctional. It means through that core soul, they can function using those features. When actually they're doing all the stuff any other places, and they can still be where they really reside, they truly reside, and function 100% in each of those, in every single places they are. So we all have a core soul, and that core soul is in a journey through eternity into that existence, eternal existence. That's why eternity is linked to existence, because the universe is in time within that eternity, within that existence. So the energy pattern function with the law of the balance of the universe, equilibrium. Everything in life is equilibrium. You go to a gas station, you pay money, you have what you need. Balance, done. The same thing in the universe. Evil forces are unleashed. Remember very carefully, listen to me very carefully, my dear friend and fellow. Evil forces are unleashed. The core soul were cursed by God to be in hell. That's where the core soul live. That's where the core soul exists. But because they try to be clever with God, they say to God that if you refuse us to challenge you, it means you are not powerful as you think you are. You say you are. So God said to them, I will unleash you to prove what you can do. So you see, in a certain extent of comprehension, you can say God got caught up with his own purity and own loyalty. But it's really not the case. When you know you have the true power, you don't panic. That's what God did. So they are all unleashed. When people are saying Lucifer is in hell, is no, that's where he lives. Like you go out to work and then you come back to your house. That's what he does. That's what they all do. They are free to navigate all over the place. And that's where Jesus Christ will come in place. And I will introduce that later on. So you see, so they are unleashed. All the demons that you know, they are all unleashed. Even the beneficial, the benevolent beneficials, because they are angels. Like I told you, there are only 72 guardian angels that exist. Only 72 in the entire world. There are no more. You have 8 governmental angels in the heavens, the third heavens, in the third heavens, and those governmental angel cabinet and troll, they are 9, and they are ranked based on their proximity with the Creator. You mean between the Creator and us? That's how they are ranked. They are ranked, but they are all powerful. So God took 8 in each of the 9 chore. That make, when you do 8 by 9 is 72. So he have 72 guardian angel that do spiritual protection, emotional protection, and physical protection. 72. Why those 3? Because those 3 are the main identifier of your existence. Your physical is what we see, your genotype. If something happened to it, there's a chance that you can die. Your spiritual is your inner soul, that crystalline energy that lives within you, that is connected to God. Very important. Why does he send for physical? Because he wants you to do what he sent you to do in the time interval he calculated. So he wants you to be protected during that time so you can get it done. When people die early, don't cry too much. It was the way God designed it. It's painful, I know. Even me, it's painful. But it's the way God designed it. They will move to the next task when they get incarnated or reincarnated, if they still have to be sent back in a different form. When I say different form, or female or male, depending where they will be. So the point is, the spiritual now have to be protected, because the spiritual gonna have to be graded. Either it will go to hell or either it will go to heaven. That is your soul for this specific lifetime. Now you're emotional. Like I said, people, emotion is part of our creation. So when people get angry, mad, don't be afraid of them. That's the way God created human. If you say it in the Bible that God created us like him, it means God also have emotion. God also have a body. And he does. Like I told you, he can, Abraham. You know the story of Abraham? Indeed. Then he have the spirit, the core soul. And he can omnipresence, omnipotent, omnifunctional, omniscient. So the emotion you possess are for you to express your feelings. Now, the way you carry out your emotion can determine your maturity. I mean, if you can express yourself through your emotion, your anger, to something that was not right without hurting people, you carry your emotion well. But if you do your emotion by hurting people, that's not good. So people don't have to be afraid when people release their emotion. You just have to make sure that you do not harm other folks because of your emotion. Jesus Christ had an emotion in the synagogue. He threw stuff away. He should have hurt someone. He didn't. But that was an emotion to something that was not right. To prove you that they say it is said and it is known that he commit no sins. Not that he have not committed something that looked like a sin, but he committed no sin because he did something that was provable, and he confessed into his Holy Father to forgive what he did. That's why when he did it, he left the place right away. He went into the garden and stayed silent because he was praying. Don't believe that Jesus Christ was just a somebody who came, a movie was already playing, go do this, everything is fine. No, he went to a struggle like all of us. And let me tell you what happened to him. I'll come back to it. So emotion is part of your creation. That's why those angels, 72 angels, have that responsibility. He also has 72 angels to protect the energy of the air, mean the energy, the fire, the water, 18 for the air, the energy of the air, the fire, 18 for the water. So when Jesus Christ was able to walk above the water, it's because those angels were there to put a spiritual platform, because he had the faith, he was able to walk to it. So, and that was only through faith. So he had faith, so he was able to walk there. And the people who didn't have faith will go down because they didn't have faith. So faith is what connects you to the Holy Father and to the Holy Trinity. Faith is a gateway. Now, 18 for earth, 18 for the water, 18 for the air, and you have 18 for the fire from the energy. So when you do 18 times 4, that also give you what? 72. And you also have other celestial beings that are benevolent beings that work for God, that can also do his work, that work on the practicality of the heavens beside the religion. They are the one who control the finance of earth, of all other places, all other planets in universe. They are the one who control. He have the Department of War, Department of Religion, which is in the third heaven, there, Jesus Christ and everything else. He have those who control engineering and technology and creation, innovation as he planned it. They all go through that program. No one goes above, beyond what he already structured. He have people who work on the process of bringing newborn into earth. They have their medical team, the medical and pharmaceutical, the medicines. They have folks for it. Every single aspect in this life, they control it. So it go back to what I started. The maker word, what they do there to protect us and serve us, have an impact on us. Compare now to the malevolent forces that counterattack that benevolent work not to happen. And they go into people like us, those malevolent forces. They come into people and they start putting those negative thoughts in your subconscious, or hate this person, or do this person something, or revenge to this person. Who do you think this person is? Or he have nothing, and then you're gonna see people saying you're gonna get crushed. This is not your land, this is our land, stuff like that. That is not from God. If you have those kind of thoughts, I told you right now, I will not be reluctant to say this to you, because I serve God and I know I don't serve God like a fan. I'm talking about practicality here. There's a creator that creates every single being. We wake up in the morning because he said wake up. You are healthy because he wants you to be healthy, so you can do the purpose that he sent you to do here on this earth, in this specific lifetime, as predetermined. So if you have any haterism, any lack of love, you have envy, you have jealousy toward other people, you have revenge, you have anger, any negative thing that you can imagine, that's not from God. I want to be very clear into that. It is not from God. That is not the God, the true God. Therefore, you are worshiping other God, because maybe you don't know. They are God for every single thing, every bad thing. When you jealous somebody, you are worshiping the God of jealousy. When you envy someone, you are worshiping the God of envy. When you want to have revenge of someone, you're worshiping the God of revenge, which is a malevolent God. That's not the true God. So anything negative, some people just don't know. They think, oh, no, I'm worshiping the true. You're not. You have something within your heart. You don't want to give it away. You don't want to say, no, I don't gonna hate this person. You're looking somebody down. You are worshiping the God of I can say, greed. You know, it's only about you. See what I mean? That's not God. God don't have those attributes, those characteristics. Indeed, He have the opposite of it: love, compassion, acceptance, inclusions, pardons, forgiveness. That's what He have. Because also people, oh, I have a right. I have a right to hate that person. I have a right, God. He did this to me. Please, if you go like that to pray, I am afraid and sorry to tell you that you're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy. You should have not even prayed and suck up that negative thing on you. You should should made a more better decision, and God should not be angry on you than coming and telling him that you have a right to do what you're supposed to do, but you want him to listen to your prayer for this night. I mean, just take his position and imagine someone who hurt your kid, someone who hurt your kid, and he come in front of you and he said, "Sir, I, I'm not apologetic to anything I've done to you, but I want you to listen to me." Just imagine what will happen. Either you're gonna come out of that place dead, either you're gonna come out there with some major major impact in your body, either you're gonna come out there alive. They're gonna be three choices. So that's the same thing with God, because the person that you're hitting are also God kids, like you are, or the person you're hurting are also God kids. Then you come out there and say, I have a right. I have a right. You have no right. You just don't have any right. When you come into God, you let him. He have the knowledge. He know what you need, even what you don't even believe you need. He already know. He know what kind of type of woman you like. You'll be surprised that if you meet God today, He gonna present you a woman. You're gonna be like, whoa, that's exactly the one I want. How do you know that? He gonna say, because I created you, so I know. He gonna tell you what kind of work you like. He can even tell you, if you wanted to go in an intimate fashion, how you like to have intimacy with your partner. I mean, with your opposite sex. If you want to go in intimacy, he knows every single thing. So the point is, people believe, you want to go and start talking to God like you try to inform him on something. You're not informing him nothing. You already know. So people must start working on acceptance that when things happen, we should not point hand on people. We should be focused on looking up and understand that is the way he designed it to happen. It is painful, but if you look in the long run, it will be seen as a lucky moment in our existence. Because today we crying about Ebola. Trust me, Lucifer is coming with something that you have never seen before, who will be above Ebola. Therefore, when that arrives, you will be lucky that Ebola have existed in this time, because we will have find cure for Ebola that will make us ready for that next thing Lucifer is bringing. So everything that happens in life, it is to improve human being, to enhance their capability and capacity that was given to them within for the challenge to come. So when you have a situation in your life where you believe, certain people think, he's waiting for his death. Who's waiting for his death? I'm 35 years old, my fellow. What do you want me to do? Go to club every single night? Is that living a life? In fact, there are many people who celebrity who kill themselves. You know how many people they be meeting every day? You know how many party and limousine that come and pick them up every single night? But the next time you know, we find this, hanging out, kill, overdose. This is not the solution. The kind of life I have, it is the best life. I said to folks, if you are so worried about me, you can call me, but make sure that you fit my criteria, because you will be critically disappointed. I don't bother you. As long as people leave me alone, I don't bother you, my friend. You do your life the way you like it. Oh, I applaud it. May you have happiness. But don't cry tomorrow. You know? That's what it is. Because people believe that's their life. Why somebody is always thirsty of something? I've been going to club. I've been going to club. Now I gotta go into a moon. And tomorrow, now, I'm tired to go into the moon. Now I have to dig the sea to go in there. And tomorrow, now I have to find something within the air where I can go. Men will never be satisfied with nothing. I get this kind of woman. Now I'm looking for something else. You never will be satisfied. What will make you satisfied is have loyalty and integrity within the principle, standard, and law of the Creator, and have loyalty within yourself. There's nothing better than have tranquility and be surrounded with good people. There are people out there who have 1 million friends. CNN report, they just find John Smith hanging himself last night. Go to YouTube, 1 million fans. What the heck happened? Oh, we just find Joe Snart overdose in his bathroom. 2 million fans. Make about 150 million a year. What happened to that one? You would think that I'm waiting for my next funeral. You think that you party more than that person? Or do you think that you have more limousine drive than that person? It is not the solution. Money is not even the solution to problems. Yeah, I do have money. Yeah, I do have money. But problem are not going away. What happened to me? People think that, hey, I used to wear one pant for 1 week. So when I have 1 million, I'm still going to be wearing one pant for 1 week. No, you just don't know. As you go, other problem come into your life. The universe is a process in time. You are part of the universe, so you are integrated into that process. Situation that happened in the past, the condition in which people solve that situation will not be the same if a similar situation happen in the future, because there will be different parameter and factor attached into that, corresponding into that time. So if you didn't have money before, you think that suddenly they're going to take you where the way you are with no problems and put you into that time where you are, and then no. By the time you reach that time, you're going to go through adverse situation in which you will not solve even one of the problem that you went through. You solve it halfway and add another one. Halfway, add another one. And all the other half accumulate to move forward in time. And they're all there, half another one. And they're all there, half another one. And by the time you end up with that 1 million that you already have, you start solving the problems. And new problems are coming. New problems are coming. New problems are coming. Therefore, your life will not be the same as when you didn't have none. You know, that's the way it is. And then people think, oh no, I live my life with wisdom because I've been through everything. You know, I went, I used to go out to party and do all this stuff, or with women, beautiful women, all these things. At the end, I'm a single. So don't call this sin, please. I was doing my life. Because I know people out there who are going to tell you to sin. No, I'm not. I was doing my life accordingly. And I followed the law. You can make me smash, and that's part of life. Because you got to have those barriers in order for you to learn from it and improve yourself. So I learned from those because I know, remember, sin is not a sin unless you respond into that sin by a sin, by another one. Because it was mean to be there to test you. Why I say that? Jesus Christ went into the synagogue. He did sack out thing away. You believe that it was the best way to do that? But he did what was right because that was the house of his so-claimed father at the time. That's why they say so-claimed father at the time. A father that nobody knows, nobody has never seen. We don't think that God have a son. What the heck is talking about? So he did what he did. Right? Now, the way he responded to it nullify his action. He didn't went after people. When he did it, he left. It means those people were still able to retrieve their wealth, their money, and even put the stuff back and continue the business. But he have left a message. Somebody don't like what we're doing. Maybe something's wrong with it. Nobody have never said do that before. So the only remedy was to do that kind of action so that it can bring more attention. At least people know that maybe what we're doing here for all these years, nobody have never done this, but somebody done this like this. I mean, there's something we're doing that's not right. Selling stuff in churches and in synagogue and money transaction and all this stuff, money laundering and all this stuff. That So, but the way he responded to it, he left and he went to pray for God to carry on with what he started, the process. And that sin nullify. So, you can have a life you make mismatch, but the way you respond to it will determine how your life will be. What kind of person you will be. That's the way life is. So I live my life peacefully. And if I have $1, I put all my schedule based on $1. I don't have $1 and put my schedule on $2 because I wanted to impress people that not even care, that I don't pretty much feel comfortable being around. When I say feel comfortable, because they don't like my well-being. The next time I know, they put something on my water or my food when I have my face turned down the other way. I'm speaking the truth. Why do you want to be around people like that who want to harm you? So what do you want to impress people like that? You waste your time. They don't like you at all. I mean, even if you have a million, they're not gonna like you. They're gonna, you're gonna, I mean, they're gonna hate you more. That's what it is. So that's why people must understand that the universe is a process in time within existence. And we are part of that universe. And we are going into that eternal existence. Coming into different lifetime with an integrated soul. The process of the heaven for those specific soul are for family reunion. You've been graded well by God for your work that you have done in this specific lifetime. It will not only help that derived soul, but it will also help your folder for your next existence if you have not reached your last destination yet. Let me prove you that. Jesus Christ have proven into the world, the visible one and the invisible one, that a person can be incarnated in only one single lifetime and reach complete perfection. And I'm starting. Hallelujah, Almighty God. Hallelujah, Comfort Global. Hallelujah, God is with us. Hallelujah. Now, let me say this. When everything started from the primordial thought, when God created everything, this is what happened. The defeat was put in place between Lucifer and God, the opponent. That's where Satan come from. Satan means opponent, adversary. So everything is about the universal law of balance. It is what build peace among people, peace among self. It is what regulate social, social relationship between people, advance our civilization according to the predetermined plan. That's exactly what the universal law of balance does. And everything that God have done is based on that. The way you see Earth standing, all the star, it is all based on the universal law of balance, all the energy. You are working because your body is within equilibrium. The forces of your weight with the coefficient of regression, your slope, which is the coefficients, the G, gravitational force, to your normal mass. With your normal mass, the gravitational force of your mass, it is called the coefficient of regression of your mass, is going down on the x-axis, and you have the reactional force opposite to it that's coming from where you standing or you walking to nullify that force is coming down and put it to equilibrium. That's why you're able to walk straight forward, or even if you're standing, you're still walking. Everything is based on equilibrium, the law of equilibrium. You go to the gas station, they say 1 gallon is 2.29. You don't go there and say, I want 1 gallon, 2 gallon, I have no money. If you don't give me the gallon, I will steal. I will take it by force. You know exactly what's going to happen. Jail time, arrestation. That's exactly what's going to happen. It is the same thing in with God. When we broke that universal law of balance by doing stuff to other people, it must be compensated. It means somehow, somewhere, that's where the law of reincarnation exists, because of the example I just mentioned. And that's where God, very intelligent, through the existence, eternal existence process, he put it to step to make sure that you have a backup. Like he knew there will be a rebellion in heaven. It seems like he knew that because he put it in step. I mean, a person come in a specific lifetime, do what he got to do, and then if it is not satisfied, you return by incarnation process. It means reincarnation from your first incarnation. You do again until you reach that final purification and lightness, doing exactly what God designed you to do. And he knew that when there's going to be a rebellion, Lucifer is going to be mixing up that universal law of balance. But by doing that, the person still have opportunity to come and fix it. Now the deal with Lucifer is that he want to make sure that every single time that you appear, he mix you up so that you can come back again. And he will mix you up. By doing that, he's going to slow down the process. But unfortunately, he does not know that that is according to God's plan. But unfortunately, we do not understand that God plan because of the suffering. You see how Lucifer is playing the thing? Yeah, I know the truth. I know I might lose, but you suffer like I do. So that's exactly how he explained this. You suffer, and some of your soul will come with me. That's exactly the game. Everything that the church is the thing is about that. He wanted to mix up the universal love balance, the way God designed and structure his word. Therefore, as God have said, I am sending Adam. Adam was created. He came at the right time. So to start a new process, Adam means man. I have people here who think no one overview us from above. Let me respond to you. That's not correct. You say what you just say because you have a subconscious in you that make you think there's somebody who exists over there and your conscience is denying it. You know why? Animals don't think about dying. They don't care about dying. They're not afraid of dying. They might think, they might see that coming, but they're not afraid. But we are. Do you know why? Nobody never answered that question. Do you know why you always think a little bit above yourself? Every single one of us, even those that we think that they have disability problem in their mind, they also have some aspiration that if they start talking to you, you're going to think they're crazy. Do you know why? Because the physical body is sick, but the spiritual body is normal like yours. You have all of those things because God put on you that soul. It is that soul that makes you fear death. If God did have not implanted that soul within you, you should be like an animal that is out there who can see death but don't care. They don't. When you see an animal walking there, he don't care about he's gonna die tomorrow. So death come and take him and then he's gone. That's the way they live. They do their life, they eat and do what they do, they go and then death come and they're gone. But you fear death. Because that subconscious is within you, is bothering you. It's reminding you that there's somebody above. There's something bigger than me. But you're denying it with your conscience. No, that's not true. No. That is exactly what is happening. You are fighting within your true self. And people don't know that. When I see somebody say nobody is looking, why you said, the reason why you said that first? Because you have that connection within you with the world above. Otherwise, you should have not even said that if you didn't have that. And that's why Adam was called man. Because he had that inner soul that other didn't have. That's why his generation was the first one to create a wheel. Because they start thinking above. They start having aspiration. Your aspiration come from that inner soul, from above. Because there are people out there, like I told you, who work for God, who inject that through spiritual pipeline. We want the new Buffett to be. It is coming in about 20 years. He will be in this family. So he'll be the one based on God's structure, the way God designed it. That's the only way it will make that balance. So this person, he will do his time within 50 years, the way God designed it for his next existence. Because of his previous existence, they have people working for it. So we have this person, he will come, he will lead this nation in this specific time, and then when it's done, he have the other one that is coming, never seen, that will be replacing him. In between there will be battle, but those guys will be wasting the time. That's not the call. That's the way it is. That's the way it is designed. You might think I'm bluffing. No, I'm not. The only time you think about death, the only time you start thinking about, I want to invent this, I want to beat this, is because you have that inner soul in you that drive you into that aspiration, because they're calling you, they're making you think, because that's exactly the way they program you. And they want you to do that. But sometimes we are taken away by our ego. No, I see this guy doing this, so I want to do that too. See, and then suddenly you lost your track. You don't do that. That's why people have to find the inner self, believe in themselves, find the inner self, and do this my stuff. I don't care if somebody become millionaire. As long as I do what I believe I'm good at, I'll be happy with it. If everybody does that, jealousy will be gone. If you have more people out there that wasting all the time, try to be like, hating the other person like they're the one who created that person. The guy was designed to be who he is. I can be here talking about Michael Zuckerberg, the CEO of, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name, the CEO of Facebook. I can say whatever I want to say. But I know from my inner self that he was programmed for that. I know he was choosing for that. So either I hate him or not, it changed nothing. He will be what God designed he gonna be. So I don't hate him then, because I'm wasting my energy and time. It's like you hating somebody. I don't actually hate him, but I say if you talk about him, just an example, anyone, because there are people like that. Why not me? No, find what you're good at, the way you were programmed. Why he want to be this? Well, find who you are. Maybe you'll find that you can maybe also be that or not. So during that trial, Adam came, the serpent called the magician. Serpent means magician in the first language. He showed up. He was Lucifer incarnate in person. That's what he was. The serpent mean magician in the first language. The Bible is not wrong. They wrote it in a certain way that people will see everything pure. All right? Just take it like that. So the serpent was a magician at the time from the primitive community who practice dark magic, in which Lucifer was able to enter and incarnate within him to do his work. That's the reason why he was able to talk with Eve, because they were like a community, different community. So I mean, they knew each other. Sometimes they see each other going around, families, even if that family was a little bit apart from other, from the garden, the garden of Eden in the mountain, different from other community. They didn't know exactly what's up in that community. Only Adam and Eve knew what was up there in that garden as God started the process. So that magician came from that community and called serpent. That's how they call him, serpent. That was the name. So he came in and he did what he did. Interested to Eve because she was different. And she was different. Why? Because she was not created like the others during that process. She was created differently from another living being. So she looked different. She looked flamboyant. You see what I mean? So he had that interest. So the deal was to sack the marriage, reverse the rules, make sure that he can take her away from Adam. That's exactly what it was. He kind of succeeded in that, but what happened there is that when God reappeared and let them know exactly that something got wrong, but they were warned, they still didn't follow the warning. Therefore, they were discarded from the garden, and the garden was turned down, completely erased and wiped out from earth. So what happened when God said to Eve, because Eve in the first language means life bearer. Okay, so all the women in this world are called Eve, because Eve is not actually, it was actually an attribute, life bearer. So all the women are life bearer, and all the men are the Adam, called man. That's exactly what it is. So he said to her that From that wound, you carry a man that will crush the serpent. See what I mean? So she didn't understood that he was talking about generational thing. Like I told you in the beginning, people are over there, they're working on stuff. They knew Jesus Christ gonna come in year 14 to do his stuff. So he was able to say that. When he said Eve, you're gonna carry a wound, he was not talking about you. So that's how God speaks stuff. When he come in front of you, he start talking stuff 1,000, 2,000 years from now. You see what I mean? If he come and say, I see you succeed. I see you have success. He's not talking about now. He's talking about your success maybe when you're 40 or 90. Because according to his plan, like it can be tomorrow. You know, so that's what it is. So year 2000, the plan was to prove to the serpent, to Lucifer, that it is possible that a man can do only one lifetime and reach the final process, purification and lightness. That was the deal. So Jesus Christ came to prove it. He came only for one lifetime and he reached purification. He came to do exactly what he was programmed to do. It means he was programmed to care for people, heal people. He was programmed to be a good teacher. I mean, a person of wisdom. He was programmed to be a leader. I mean, a person that people can believe into. That was a characteristic he had. And that's exactly what God wanted him to do, because that were the characteristic that he needed to do his work after this lifetime. And that's exactly what he's doing in heaven today. That's his work. That's what I do. Advocate for people. He's a leader there. He cared for people. He talk well. He know everything that you saw in his story. That's what he does. He doesn't do anything other than everything that you saw there. Caring for people. So when you want to have some cure, magical cure, pray for him. He's gonna do that. He might not do it because he's a boss now. So when I say boss, just wait to understand. He's gonna send an angel to do that, depending on how intimate you are with him. If you're too much intimate, he'll come himself. So when I say the boss, I'm not saying he's a bossy. I say he's a boss. It means he have a position. Make a difference between that. So when Jesus came, he came like a normal person. He didn't know who he was until he went into the desert. Jesus Christ didn't know who he was, like after the desert. He had a glimpse of who he was. He knew he was for a higher purpose, but he didn't know the entire picture because he was in the flesh. He was going into the spiritual realm from the time he was born to the time he was 32, 33. He studied many religions. At the time, there were many religions. When I say study, be part of the society. From Egypt to India to Europe to Asia, he was all over the place. So he understood Hinduism, he understood Buddhism, all those religions that existed. So when the time came, he went into the desert. He fasted for 40 days. That's where he was called over into heaven. In heaven, he was then told who he was. He understood the entire process. He was guided on what to do. He was guided on how to do it. He was given the gift of healing. He was given the purpose that must be done. But he was also told that as he goes, things will be unfolding. So they didn't tell him everything. That's the reason why when the time came for him to die, when the time came, he was eating with the disciple. The Holy Spirit spoke to him right away. This time. Then there, he said, this is my last supper with you. God will never, ever going to give you everything all together. He will give you a portion to help you move forward, and he will give you as the process unfolds. He did the same thing to Jesus Christ. No exception. He want to make it clear to Lucifer that his existence, creation, humankind, was the most best decision he has never made. So he have to be strict even with Jesus Christ. So when Jesus now knew that was time, he went to pray and said, God, please, there is another way for this. Because he was not told that when he was in the desert. God said, no, it's the only way. And then he said, may your will be, if that's exactly what you want. Because he know what the Father wants is what is correct and right. So the point is, it is the way we all go. In that one lifetime, he was able to take all the karmic debt. That's the reason why I said last time that Jesus Christ didn't come here in this earth only to save people from sin, but to show people how to live according to God's standards, principles, and laws. And many people are very mixed up with it. They think I can do my life the way I want it, and then I go and then say, Jesus Christ, please forgive my sin. No, 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 no. You got an error somewhere. That process is not so simple as you think. You have to go through sanctification. Sanctification means you're going to have to carry that cross. It means you're going to have to sacrifice certain stuff in your life. I mean, there's certain things that you're going to have to stop doing. Truly, not what people are telling you not to stop doing, according to God's law and Jesus Christ's principle standards. You have to go through a sanctification process. Then when you go into the sanctification process, you become righteous because of the credit that he suffered for, and then justified in the eyes of God, and then you are saved, and all the sin are wiped out. It means that you have accepted them to work to you, through you, right? Despite the karmic debt that you have in your previous existence, you carry that cross. That's what that cross is about, your karmic debt. It is for you sanctification process. That's what it is for. So when I talk about the karmic, it's about that, the cross. The sanctification process is taking care of all your karmic debt. Because that process is not easy. That sanctification process is suffering. Many of us cannot do it. It means there are many things that you're gonna be beating up. You're gonna have to let certain stuff go that you don't like. There are certain things that people are gonna do to you that you know you gotta do it in order for you to survive, and you have to give it up. So you're gonna have it is tough, that sanctification process. And those are the responses from your karmic debt that are coming back for the balance of the universal law. It's coming into you. Do you see that correlation between karmic debt and the involvement of Jesus Christ and the saving process? So when you saw Jesus Christ carrying that cross, he was paying the karmic debt. So everyone who will go like him, who's going to want to be saying his follower, have to do his life like he did. Don't do your life like you want, and you say, oh, because you say pray in the name of Jesus Christ, you accept him, and then as my savior, and then he forgive me. No, no, no. Please be careful about that. Because when you do that, you will probably go in front of him with all those things that you believe is right. I hate that person. I don't like that person the way. So Jesus Christ, I believe I'm right. So, but you died for my sin. So forgive me for not forgiving other folks because I don't want to give it. If you don't forgive, you will not be forgiven. You know why? It's not because God is a demon. No, it's because it doesn't work. He's a pure God. He cannot come together with somebody who have impurity on him. That is practicality. You have nothing to do with faith, with religion. Belief is a practicality. Something that is pure wanted to be around things that are pure so that he can maintain his purity. So if you don't forgive a person, you will not be forgiving because God's word cannot go through you because that unforgiveness is blocking it. That's exactly what's happening. That hate that you have in you is blocking it. That envy that you have in you is blocking it. That anger that you have on you is blocking it. That looking down on people is blocking it. That thing that you want a person to subjugate into you is blocking it. That's exactly what's happening. So that's what people say, if you can forgive, you're not going to be forgiven because that person will not work. Because you have something that is blocking, that you don't want to give. So you carry your karmic debt from your previous existence, as well as the problem that you have into this specific life. That karmic debt, the way you respond to it is to carry the cross through the sanctification process. When you do that, you will be responding well into those difficulty and challenges. Look how Jesus Christ was doing. They beat him, he slowed down, and still loved people. They do stuff to him, he still laughs. He still, in that suffering, he can still try to see if he can cure a person. That's exactly what it is. If you can be that kind of person, your karmic debt will be balanced according to the universal law of balance. That's exactly the reason why he came. When he said, I came to show the way, that was what he was talking about. Because the way will bring people to make their life clear in commensuration with the law that God put in place since the beginning, because that law will never gonna change. The way I'm explaining it, that's the way it functions in the realm of the high sphere. And that's the way it is applied by them here. So when you take the karmic debt that you have and you do not follow the sanctification process, you don't follow the law, standard, and principle of the Holy Trinity as a Hindu or Buddhist, and you don't follow the law of God, Elohim or Allah, according to standard, principle, and law, you will not be in balance with the universe, in commensuration with the universe, the way God intended to be. But as a Christian, if you follow the sanctification process of Jesus Christ, you carry the cross by responding well into your karmic debt, you will sin less, and you will be able to save this specific soul to go to heaven and be graded well as with an A, and it will allow you to transition well into your next one if it's not your last. So Jesus Christ came here, he did exactly what supposed to be done. He did what he was designed to do. Because that's exactly what he's doing today. Everyone who's going to go through the process, follow God's path, and reach the level, the example that Jesus Christ have done, will have a righteous place in the kingdom of God. I can promise you that. Every single one who is in this earth. Jesus Christ came. He showed an example for eternity. It is up to people to follow that. Any other prophet have done similarity. But those who follow the true principle and standard of God will be in commensuration, not far from what Jesus Christ have done in this earth. Either you are a Muslim, you follow God's standard, principle, and law with good love that God have. Either you are a Jew, you follow God, principle, standard, and law with the good love God have. Either you are an Hindu or Buddhist, and you follow the universal law according to the way the Creator put it in place since the primordial thought, you will be fine. When your karmic debt comes, you carry that in you with your cross. You respond well like Jesus Christ. You forgive people because that's the payback. People beat you, that's the payback. You forgive. Things happen to you, you say, God, it is your will, because that's the payback. Universal law of balance and peace. That is the true translation. When you take all religion all together and the misunderstanding that people had between incarnation and reincarnation and Christianity and the presence of Jesus Christ. Therefore, When Jesus Christ returned, as he will, the unleash of those malevolent force will stop, because God gave them a time to show who they are. When Adam and Eve fell the first test, and Jesus Christ was sent, that was the first step God did. Sent him to show an example, to prove humankind creation right. It means in one lifetime, a man can reach likeness and perfection and sit right in the throne of God. That's exactly the way God intended it. And Jesus Christ came and proved it. So everything that you saw Jesus Christ suffering was the karma. It was the karma that was integrated in his path because he was in a mission. So, and people, and to answer your question, that's why problems still exist. You know why? As a Christian, problems still exist in your life because you have a karmic load. You have a karmic load from your past existence. That's why people are still wondering why I still have problem in my life. I believe in Jesus, I believe, but I still have problem. You have problem because it's inevitable. You have your karmic debt from your past existence. And the way it comes in your life is not good. Some will come as a compensation. Like I told you, the law of equilibrium. You have to suffer somehow to pay that back. Now, when you look Jesus Christ, the way he lived, the example he showed, you follow that, you'll be able to sort all your problem accordingly. That's exactly the reason why he was here for. And when you follow that sanctification process, you will do sin less. That's why he say sin no more. That's why people still have problem because they believe I'm Christian. No, you will have problem because the way God structure his word, you come into process, into lifetime. And Lucifer saw it like an imperfection to reach perfection like him, like Jesus Christ have done. Jesus Christ came in normal form. I've been explaining this for a very long time. People think it was crazy. I take an example in the Bible. Jesus Christ came as a normal form. He reached the level of enlightenment and perfection, like I've been talking about, in only one lifetime. He's in heaven today doing exactly what he was doing here on earth. It is the way God designed every single one of us. But us, we are going to many lifetime because we are fear of suffering. Jesus Christ came and show you he's not fear of suffering. He take all the beating from all the karmic debt that was injected into his life because he came for a purpose. You build that karmic debt in your previous existence. You have that. The same thing you're doing today, you're hating people, you're doing stuff to people, you will carry that on if you don't fix it now. And when you were doing that, you disregard Jesus Christ in this present existence. And then your next existence, you're going to be wanting him to come and help you when you disregard him in your previous existence. That's why problem will exist. You have to pay that back. Do you see when I'm coming here? It makes sense. So, but if you follow the sanctification process, you will not have that in your next one. And you will get close into your final destination. We have to teach people the truth. We have to stop talking those rhetoric that we've been talking, because people do not fear God by doing that. Fearing God do not mean that you have to tremble. But fearing God means treat other people the way you want to be treated, because you know the consequences. That's what it is. So the coming death is there. The cross we're carrying represent it. And Jesus Christ came to show you how to react, how to act, and build something positive out of that coming death. Not only will save your soul, this specific soul, to heaven, from heaven, from hell to heaven, but also will open better avenue for you in your next one, next existence, incarnation, and bring you close to your journey. Because every single one of you, by the time you reach your final destination, you will be clean and clear, and you will do exactly what you predetermined to do in the primordial thought, to reach the enlightenment and then transit to work for God. So by the time Jesus Christ come, by the time he come, the majority of the soul in this earth, this is something that have never been revealed. I'm revealing that now because it just came. The majority of the soul will be close to reach, or will have reached, the final destination. And new soul will be coming in. And that's the reason why he's saying that those, the saint, will meet Christ and his army in the air, in the first heaven. And their body will enter the soul like it was done during Jesus Christ's resurrection. Because they will have reached that final destination. Those souls, that's what God is waiting for at this point. I can say waiting for. That's what the process is waiting for. It is a process that is done. So it will take time for him to return. But he will return. Some of us will reach the final destination by that time. A new soul will be made. And everything is already predetermined for that moment. That's why he said, Jesus Christ, the end of time there will be suffering. Because the balance of the universe must be and will be done. For people to reach the final destination. And God will use Lucifer, as he been doing, to make sure that it is done. I mean, those who do good will receive good. Those who do bad will have to suffer to bring it back into normal. And you should not even worry about doing good or bad if you follow the sanctification process. If you follow well the standard, principle, and law that were put in place by God and the Holy Trinity. You should not worry about that. So that's what it is. So that's why people must do good. People must make sure that they do good in this present life. They do good. They follow the sanctification process. They are saving this soul into heaven. And they are opening good path for the next reincarnation and reducing the gap to reach the final destination. And that is the reason why Jesus Christ came here to show. Because he had proven it into the evil force, evil world, that it can be done. So they know it can be done. Because before Jesus Christ, no one have done it. He was the first one who did it. I mean, he came in only one lifetime. They put all the calamity on him. He suffered very well for it. And he take it and he used it well. He absorbed it well to suffering. But as a form of release, anger didn't come out other than peace and love. And then when he died, he resurrected. Then his body met with his spirit in the air. He reached enlightenment only in one existence and sat down in the kingdom of God with a position, doing exactly what he was programmed to do. And that's what God is waiting for every single one of the people that he have, our soul. Some of us will reach the final destination soon. And depending all final destination will always gonna be good. All final destination. Everybody last soul to reach the final destination will not go to hell. That is a promise. Every single soul who reach the final destination will not go to hell. They will experience extreme suffering depending on how they have done in order to compensate to save the soul to heaven and to have the righteous place in the kingdom of God as God designed it. God designed in the beginning of time that every soul that he launched in clockwork, by the time they reach the final destination, no hell, it will be heaven, because the universal law balance will work. That person somehow will have to suffer somehow to compensate it, to save that soul, that core soul, for heaven. And anything that is in between is a retardation from Lucifer. But he's not stopping the process. He's not changing the process. He's just retarding the process. And by retarding the process, many derived souls will go either to hell or heaven. But the last one, when the final destination is reached, will be hell, will be heaven. That is only one option, heaven. And that's something that we must know. And when you look at the story of Jesus Christ, it is there. In one lifetime, he did what he's supposed to do. And he reached that final destination. And he's in heaven, working for God. Your time will come too, when it will happen. But it will take maybe other lifetime to get there. As far as I see right now, many people here might have many lifetime because the way we are living. I changed my life because I understand all of this stuff. And I wish that many people understand what I'm saying here, because what I'm saying is the truth. I'm not the same guy they have known a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. I'm a different being, not only by the way of word, but the way I see stuff. What I'm saying to you now is true. Change your way of life, loving people. Everybody came in this life for a different purpose, to do what God designed them to do. Don't look what the other person's doing in terms of their life, or what the other person possess, or how successful the other person became. That's the way it was designed. Karmic debt, balance of the universal law. And like I explained in lifetime, you carry that up, you build up from the beginning into present. Some people have less because the way God put the folder. Some people have two more lifetime and they are peace in a certain lifetime and they think everything's right. And if you don't do right, if you don't benefit from this lifetime, it will carry on, and it will be added to what is already written, and it will make it more heavy. And when you get there, it might be a lot of suffering because it must be compensated for you to reach that final destination for heaven. To save that man core, that core soul that God created at the primordial thought. Because that is a must, it's not an option. So the consequence of it is that it will be suffering. And it's exactly what Jesus Christ came to prove and show. Take my word. God built this universal structure based on the universal law of balance. And that is the way it should work. Anyone who come against it will go down. Either you follow it, either you are a Satan. You mean the adversary. There's no in between. Trust me in my word, because it is the word of the truth. So I believe that you follow what I said, and there's no confusion in what I said. What I say is clear, and it is the way it is. It is the way he made it. Most people who work for him do not explain how he made it, because it's not the place, and therefore I will not, because I don't know. That's where you understand your level. But to be a generalistic in that response, it is that in life everything must be in equilibrium, because in order for me to work, my life, my balance must be in equilibrium. That's why it's called balance, because when they add all the forces, it's equal to zero. It is in equilibrium. That's the only explanation I can have. In order for you to purchase something, you must give a value that are equal to that thing in order for you to get it, to have equilibrium. If you don't give, you will not be in equilibrium, because either they're going to own you money, or either you're going to own the money. That is another explanation. That's how powerful that God is. That thing that He did translate into our normal life. You put gas in your car with that exact faculty in order to for the gas to have equilibrium, the car to have equilibrium to drive. The car must have a certain amount of gas in order for that to start, to find that balance. So that is how the matter are made. That is the only way, the best way the universe is supposed to be, to function the way it functions. When you look everything around. The law and balance of the law of equilibrium. Therefore, I would like people to go in my website and download the apps. I have the new apps, the Comfit Global Consulting apps that I have there. You click on it, it will bring you, if you go to the page, the home page, and that is there on the left hand side. You click on it, you got two, so far is two apps. One is the Comfit Global Consulting, and then the other one is Charity Timeline News, which is what I'm doing right now. So if you click on either of those apps, you will go into that page, and that page you can download it if you are you are in your cell phone or Android. If you're not, if you are your computer, what you can do, you can there's a spot there where you can click, you can send that link into your phone by SMS. So you click on it, you put your number, and that link is sent into your phone, and then you can upload it or download it in your phone through that link, just by pressing that link. It will then bring you into the page where you click to download. So that's the way it is designed. So it will make people, it's easy access into my website without that. We just push on exclusively for the Charity Timeline News. You click on it, you have direct access to all the presentation. It's clear right there. You can listen to it, you don't have to go into, listen to it right away. So I build that apps, you're gonna see that there. Okay, and then if God bless, I'll try if they don't mix up the program and stuff, I'll try to see if I can build more apps, so to what I'm doing. All right, so I hope that what I said today have no confusion. There's no confusion on it. Jesus Christ came to show us the way how to respond to a karmic debt, the way of life, because through that way, that's the only way we can get close to God. I don't want people to do the rhetoric. People reach the Father only through me. What he meant is, you follow my way, you don't have to worry about reaching the Father, because it will be done automatically. That's what he meant. They are not in a dictatorship business. If you follow the sanctification process accordingly, you don't have to worry about I'll go to hell or heaven. You know exactly where you'll be going. Respond well to your karmic debt by following those who came before us, following God's principle, standard, and law, and the gospel and life of Jesus Christ. The principle, standard, and law of God. The principle, standard, and law of the universe that God put in place. And you'll be fine responding to your karmic debt. Do less sin and prevent this derived soul to go into heaven, and reduce your gap of many reincarnation to reach your enlightenment, in order for you to go to heaven as a must and start working for God. By the time Jesus Christ returns, most of the soul will reach that, and new soul will be put in place for that new beginning. And all soul in that time will have that body that he have, and become celestial being of a higher civilization, because that's where we are heading into. Therefore, like I say, reach me at www.ngohmadefounded.org. Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitter. You already have my apps on not to Twitter, but on Facebook. You have my apps. You also have my apps on my website, and I'll see what other apps I can build for people to have access to what I do. And you can email me, and my life is good the way it is. I understand the truth, and I don't panic. All right? If you feel so concerned about me, you know how to contact me, but you can make sure that you come out right. I'm not the person who play comedy. I speak straightforward, and I want you to know about that, because I don't want you to be confused and think that I come out rude, because I'm not. We live in a society where people try to be polite instead of being polite with respect to God, principles, and then law. If you want to be polite to please people because of your ego, try to show good so people can see you as a good person. No, you are glorifying yourself before God. It's better for you for people to slam you, but you know you are loved by God, than try to be loved by people and knowing that God will not like this. You're losing the real battle. So I'm always going to speak the truth to people with respect, knowing that God is satisfied. If I know what you have done is not right, I know that that's exactly, God don't see it right. God don't see it right. How you going to say me, how do you know God don't see it right? Do to other people what you want to be done into yourself. If I know, if I am in your place and I do that to somebody else, and I know I don't like that to be done to myself, therefore I know that's not God. God's not don't like it. It is very simple. If you want to know that God likes something or not, think something that you want to do to someone and see if you like that to be done. If you know that you don't like that to be done because you don't like that thing to be done to yourself, therefore you know what God thinks. I just gave you one secret. That's a gift. Without further ado, auf Wiedersehen, muchacho, au revoir, et see you bientôt. Et à tous les auditeurs, I'm calling you to go in and look into my website, all the apps, the new apps, and contact me. And don't forget to give your donation for this high work that is going into the medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology with system thinking approach for life transformation and improvement. A plus.